If you're wondering how to get that classic 80s shred guitar tone from a $329 guitar, then stick around because today on musicplayers.com we're going to review the new SBS SV200. Welcome back to musicplayers.com. My name is Zach Slife, and today we're checking out a guitar from our friend Steve Brown. Most of you shredders out there know Steve Brown from his work in the 80s with the band Trickster, and he's also one of the only guitar players to ever fill in for Def Leppard on tour. He partnered with all the fanatics over at Guitar Fetish to bring these insanely high quality guitars that are built for professionals by professionals, but at lower price points, which is really cool. Probably the most interesting fact about this guitar is despite the fact that it looks like a almost $2,000 or $3,000 custom shop guitar with the relicing, the finish checking, and the beautiful roasted maple neck, these guitars are less than $400. The whole goal of SBS guitars is to recreate that whole vintage 80s custom shop vibe that you would see people play in stadiums and arenas, but at affordable price points without sacrificing quality, such as the inclusion of a licensed Floyd Rose bridge that you might pay that much alone just for that bridge in some places. The VS200 that we have today features an offset body that's very reminiscent of a Jazzmaster meets Jaguar style body shape that's very comfortable, and it sits on your leg, very balanced, which is really nice. And what I really like about it is the fact that it has the forearm contour that we're used to seeing on a lot of Fender style guitars. So it makes it very comfortable for your forearm to rest on, whether you're playing fingerstyle with a pick, etc. The guitar itself features some pretty aggressive Alnico 5 pickups that are from SBS themselves, and they do feature coil splitting, which is available through the push-pull knob here down on the tone knob. And what's nice about that is that it does have a treble bleed circuit as well on the volume, so when you lower the volume you don't lose the high end of the guitar like you do on most other brands. We have a beautiful solid 3-piece outer body with a roasted maple neck, which has some beautiful figuring and flame pattern to it. I'm very surprised to see an actual legitimate licensed Floyd Rose on a guitar that's just over $300, and it plays and feels great just like the original Floyd Rose bridges do. 22 medium jumbo nickel steel frets on a 20-inch radius fretboard, super comfortable for chords and leads throughout the entire guitar. We have the locking nut up here for the Floyd. 25.5-inch scale length means that most of you will feel just at home with it, and what's really nice is that we have the truss rod wheel adjustable down here instead of being up here, which is a very nice feature that you see on a lot of modern high-end guitars such as Music Man. So it's really nice to see that at a more affordable price point down here. SBS pickups, they call them their Arena Power Plus pickups, so they run about 14.5K in the bridge and 12K in the neck. But what's really cool is that they refer to this as the quick plug system, where you don't have to completely desolder the pickups in order to swap them. It's kind of similar to the DiMarzio Quick Connect system, which is pretty cool. So if you ever wanted to swap these pickups out, you don't need a master's degree in soldering. The guitar itself overall feels very balanced. It's not heavy. I would say this one probably clocks in somewhere in the 7 to 8 pound range, but it's definitely not as heavy as a Les Paul would be. And just picking it up and playing it here, the neck itself is a very comfortable shape. I'm gonna say it's somewhat in like the medium C range, where it's not super thin like an Ibanez, but it's not thick like a Gibson. So I would feel very comfortable playing this guitar up and down the neck throughout the night, no matter what kind of music I was playing. So now that we have all of the features and specs of this guitar out of the way, as well as the really cool story behind them, how does it sound? I gave you a little bit of a sneak peek in that intro clip there where I pulled out all the stops for a typical 80s hair metal tune, but now we're going to put it through its paces and see how it sounds through a variety of clean tones, mid-gain tones, and high-gain tones. So let's go check it out. We're going to start off with a clean tone. Everything we're hearing today is the SBS SV200 straight into my Fractal Audio Axe effects. Here we go. So the addition of coil splitting is definitely nice, and you can hear how nice and spanky it gets. So when I have it off, it's more of a... And when I go to engage it, definitely helps you achieve some of those more stratty tones and more funky kind of tones, which is really nice to have a guitar that's in this price point with this feature set. Let's move on to some more modulated tones that you would normally hear played in the era that this guitar is trying to capture the essence of. Moving on to some more mid-gain tones, this is based on more of a Marshall kind of sound. Right off the bat, I notice how nice and tight these pickups are. There's not a lot of flubby, loose low end, and the high end is very well defined, but not super harsh. Very pleasant for sure. Finally, moving on to some more high gain styles of playing. This is more of where I like to live in terms of aggressive guitar tone. We're going to use a Mesa style tone similar to a Mark II C+. That's going to do it for today's video. I really thoroughly enjoyed playing this SBS SV200 guitar. I would say it definitely punches well above its weight class. Considering this is where you see Squiers and Epiphones, this definitely cuts above that just in terms of the feature set alone. I mean, you're not getting a legitimate Floyd Rose at that price point from any of the major brands out there, and you're not going to get a finish job or Relic job quite like this either. The amount of features overall, like the roasted maple neck, the push-pull coil split, the quick connect pickups, I mean, this is a really jam-packed guitar for the price, and it doesn't feel cheap at all. The fretwork is flawless. There are no sharp frets or anything like that. The tuning stability is super solid. I've tuned this guitar twice in the entirety of filming this video from start to finish, and that's including doing multiple takes of the solo at the beginning, tracking and recording everything, and also just doing the playthrough that you previously saw. So overall, very, very impressed. For what this guitar is at its price point, it's very difficult to beat, and I think it's a great contender for people looking for a great guitar at a very affordable price point that will hold up on the road and is used by a touring professional such as Steve Brown himself. If you want more information, that's going to be in the review. That's going to be on our website. The link for that is in the description below. Until next time, everyone, we'll see you in the next video.